YouTube is getting really out of control, folks. They are censoring our words, limiting our opportunities to expand and raise our voices, and they're deleting channels. And this is perhaps one of the reasons why this channel is struggling. Because our voice, which is very one of a kind, very anti-establishment, is not what the status quo elites want to hear. And just as you know, I am subscribed to a Jon Phelps channel, 24/7 World Radio, and that channel has been deleted. Now, I believe the reason why it's been gutted out, correct me if I'm wrong, is because they're mentioning things of what the establishment doesn't want. If any of you don't know who Jon Phelps is, this guy is a huge critic of the Jesuit Vatican establishment. Now, originally, a lot of you out there who have been talking about who controls the world, you guys think of the Jews, Zionist establishment. Well, the fact that they just took it down proves that the Jesuits at least have a certain number of control and power. And I can show you a number of images and a number of different information to prove that not only they have lots of control, but perhaps they're even more powerful than the so-called Jewish control that a lot of people talk about. So the fact that they took it down is all you really need to know. All right? Get the whole picture about this. Now, I know a lot of people, you will say, well, if you look at Hollywood, if you look at Wall Street, if you look at the Israel lobby, there's a lot of Jewish control. But nevertheless, what you guys don't also understand is the fact that there's a lot of agencies, there's a lot of evidence to prove that the Jesuits have a lot of control. And you need to spread about all this information. Now, many of you guys say that, well, Jon Phelps is controlled opposition because he's covering up for the Jews. But then how do you explain all the evidence he has? How do you explain the fact that they're taking down and they're censoring his videos? Not to mention the fact that the Southern Poverty Law Center has criticized this guy as well. And look who runs the Supreme Court. Look who runs the CIA. How do you explain the Knights of Malta? How do you explain the Club of Rome? How do you explain these things, folks? We do have, based on what I've seen, based on the Protestant Reformation, we do have a Jesuit establishment that is trying to interfere and screw us. And from what I've also been delivered, that the Vatican, the Club of Rome, whatever you want to call it, they're trying to provoke war with Iran. If you look at history, you will see that that establishment has hated the Persian values, the Persian culture. If you read the Bible, it explains everything what I'm talking about. You look at Cyrus the Great, which is my name, and you see how you get the whole picture. This is why a lot of these critics tell you to read the Bible. And the Bible does deliver a lot of truths. Now, I know some of you are probably like a fan of the Zeitgeist movement and think, well, the Bible is very divisive religions. They don't help you technologically. But still, the Bible has a lot of good information. And there's no doubt that there's a war against the Protestant Reformation. YouTube is deleting every channel that is voicing not only against that religious motive, but also any channel that's promoting the interest of whites, the interest of males, the interest of traditional culture. So you have to make sure that you get these truths out. You have to make sure that the words of Jon Phelps is either promoted, shared, or if you want, debunked. I don't know. I don't know the guy. I'd like to interview him. But the fact that they deleted his channel further proves that this guy knows what he's talking about. Now, at the same time, they've also deleted a lot of channels that have been very critical of Jews. There's a channel that's still running out there, the Zionist Report. They'll take that down very, very soon. By the way, many of these channels have been uploading videos on BitChute. The problem with BitChute is that I can't upload videos on BitChute very successfully. That channel sometimes doesn't even process my videos. So what am I supposed to do? And I've made a phone call with yesterday Sam Dixon, the guy who's a regular speaker at the American Renaissance Conference, and I told him, you guys need to make sure that my voice gets out there. Because people like James Alsop, people like, what's his name? Nick, I can't remember his name. But he had a conference earlier last year. You need to make sure that my voice is out there, because this whole anti-white stance isn't something that you have to be a white person to understand. Because Persians like me, we're waking up behind this all great replacement. As a matter of fact, it makes sense to say why the Jesuits want the great replacement, because they want to change these Protestant societies. America became successful largely because it was a country that was established by white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And Jon Phelps has talked about this. And by the way, censorship isn't just something that's happening against conservatives, libertarians, moderates, conspiracy folks, people like David Duke, people like Richard Spencer. And by the way, that guy name was Nick Fuentes. Yeah, he's younger than me and he's able to get more views. But you need to spread the word of this channel. It's happening against progressives too. I believe Secular Talk and Jimmy Dore has been getting a lot of censorship too. Why? Not because of their SJW views, but it's because of the fact they've been speaking the truth, the dirtiness behind Democrats, CNN, MSNBC, the corporate media establishment. That's what's going on. And you need to make sure that whoever they censor, you get the word out there, unless if it's, threats or anything like that. I mean, sometimes it's reasonable. But you have to follow First Amendment guidelines. And First Amendment is an ethic, as far as I know, that is a Protestant value. Because the Founding Fathers, you look at all these successful societies in Europe, the Reformation, they're trying to undo that. And from what I've investigated, they're also trying to destroy the Shia Muslim countries, like Iran. This is a war, folks. They're censoring us. Why don't you get this? So what you need to do is you need to spread this information, and I wouldn't be surprised if these people are behind China. I mean, China is getting a lot more power. The Chinese professor even admitted that Wall Street and China, they're behind all these politicians. Now, I got that from Tucker Carlson, but again, who knows even if Tucker Carlson is the real deal. Folks, this is the really sad problem that we live in. China is behind all the censorship, and we don't even know who the hell we should trust. So that's why you need to make sure channels like me are getting out there. I mean, who knows? Tim Pool has talked a lot about open-mindedness. He seems to be very nonpartisan, but who knows? We can trust him too. But he has certainly exposed the truth between both sides, because there isn't no left or right. This is just about us versus the establishment. So get the word out there, spread the video, spread this channel, and spread Jon Phelps. Because this is really, really getting out of hand. Who knows, we could be in a safe situation 5 years from now. Look at this pandemic. Look at the insanity, the way it's being hyped up. See you guys.